Welcome to the Graybeard Chronicles podcast. Your hosts, Brian Halstead and Kevin Harkins, are two gray-bearded patriots who love God, their family and friends, and their country. The Graybeards are here to inspire, inform, and educate you on a myriad of topics they are passionate about. Brian and Kevin have a strong desire to share this with you to help you live your best life. Sit back and enjoy this amazing podcast as the Graybeards pass along the wisdom of the ages.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. I'm Brian Halstead.
And I'm Kevin Harkins.
And Kevin, we're here to pass along some wisdom of the ages. What the heck does that mean?
We're not perfect, but we do have gray beards. And that means we've got some significant life experience, some life lessons, and some perspectives that are worthy of passing along.
Well, I think that sums it up nicely. Let's get to it. Kevin, what's going on?
All is well, Brian. Happy fall to you.
Oh, yeah. It was chilly this morning, right? Like 40-something degrees.
Yes, indeed. Let the dog out and thought, it's not summer anymore.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that changes, right?
Just like that. I mean, we've had up until today. It started the temperature started to fall off the cliff here just in the last couple of days because it's been a warm September, early October.
Yeah, who knows? It might bounce back for a week or so. We'll see.
Probably will.
Does strange things like that here in the Virginia.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right. So what's new and exciting? You've changed locations once again. You're not in your brick rustic environment. Any new busts to share with us?
No new busts.
Positions there?
No, not yet. I have them all listed, but I haven't acquired any new ones yet. So
what's your timeline? I mean, obviously it's based on availability and what you find and so on. But
yeah, I don't really have one. It's just probably going to go on for the rest of my life, honestly.
So not a bust a week or a bust a month.
No, it'll be when a good one that I see that's somebody that I want a bust of just pops up and crosses my path, then
right.
That probably seize the moment.
All right. I'm on the lookout for you as well. So
okay,
I'm gonna find you some.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful. Thank you.
All right, you are welcome.
Yeah.
So what would you like to talk about today, sir?
I was thinking about this during this past week, and I don't remember specifically. I think about this actually more than a little when somebody does something that is surprising. And in this case, I mean surprisingly good.
Right.
And it's particularly fun and energizing when they don't know that they are capable of it, or they do something that they never expected they could do, or maybe even have never tried to do before.
Okay.
And something happens, planets align, they end up doing this thing, whatever this thing is, and they walk away from it and go, I really surprised myself. And so I just took a sort of a derivative off of that and said, what is it that we can do to sort of make that almost a mindset for us?
Right.
How can we just be in the mindset of, how can I surprise myself? How can I surprise myself in a positive way? What is it that's holding me back? What is it that I don't think I can do, but that if I've never really given it the full try, the full shot? And so that's the origin of it. That's where it came from. So what do you think?
So surprise yourself. Yeah, I love it. And for me, what comes to mind, and I think it's what is kind of underlying in what you're talking about is it's really challenging yourself to do something that you're not comfortable with. What's the old saying, right? Growth happens when you're outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
And I think that is a mindset that all of us should strive to develop, and it doesn't have to be the prevailing mindset all the time. And at the same time, it's certainly something that we should be able to call upon, in times of maybe, like stagnation, if you will, right? So we all get to a point where, you feel like you've been climbing this mountain, and you get to the top, and then it's just kind of a plateau.
Yeah.
And then, what's next? And I think you need to be able to bring yourself into that mindset, kind of an on-call thing, right? As needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, surprise yourself with, do something that, currently just scares the crap out of you, whatever that is, make up your mind that you're going to do it, and that's, each individual person is going to have their own thing or multiple things. But what is something that you're just incredibly afraid of, or something that you want to do, and it's been fear that has held you back from doing it, and pull the trigger. Let's do it. Surprise yourself. You'll be amazed at what you can actually accomplish.
You'll be astounded, right? Thomas Edison quote, if we did the things we were capable of, we would literally astound ourselves.
Yeah,
And I was reading a book. It's a book that I've read before, but I go back and refresh it. And it has a chapter on amazing accomplishments that people have done in old age, what we would consider to be old age. It's brand new things they've never done before. People learning new languages, people learning musical instruments, people getting healthy that were never healthy before. Things that they weren't, it was not a part of their lifestyle. They didn't do it. And I mean, I don't mean just doing it. I mean, excelling at it, astounding themselves. And that's encouraging as well. And so, as you know, we worship youth in this country very much. That it's all about being young and beautiful and strong. And I personally don't buy into that. I mean, I understand absolutely the benefits of youth, the energy, the passion,
right.
the drive, the willing to take risks, and all of that. That's wonderful. But there is wisdom of the ages that's very important, and the things that you can do. And a lot of people just sort of fall into the, you can't teach this old dog new tricks. I don't buy that either.
No, definitely not true. Well,
Right.
so you can't. I would say the caveat to that is the old dog has to be interested in learning new tricks, right?
Absolutely.
And not
Yes.
just set in their ways. So yeah, I mean, it's a mindset that the old dog needs to take on.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that willingness to learn new things and open their minds to the possibility, and focus on the fact that this is not a, you haven't, until they put you in the ground or shove you into that really hot oven. You still got time to do what you want to do here, and seize that opportunity to its maximum potential by challenging yourself, by surprising yourself. And this life is meant to be lived and enjoyed, and don't just sit around and wither away in your stagnated state with outdated mindsets.
Yeah. Surprise yourself. This is not recently, but this is a couple of years ago, but I remember also having a very fun conversation with a woman who uh, had, she lives by herself, and her faucet stopped working in her kitchen faucet. Something went wrong with it. So she started kind of looking under the sink and at the hoses and the connections, and then she went on YouTube. She started watching videos about all the things that could go wrong and how you fix it.
Yeah.
And one thing led to the next, and the next thing you know, she had a brand new kitchen faucet that she did herself. Totally surprised herself.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, that's cool. I can do
Yeah,
this.
God bless YouTube for
Yeah.
that, for the ability to do that, right? And all those folks out there who take the time to record those videos and share with others how to do these things, because you can learn. I mean, hell, you could probably learn how to do brain surgery on YouTube, and I would not recommend that. But you're absolutely right, right? So plumbing, other kinds of home repairs, working on motorcycles. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to set out to learn this stuff on your own? Yeah, YouTube is a tremendous source for that, no doubt.
Yeah.
And the sense of accomplishment that you get after doing
Yeah.
something like that, I think is
Yes.
it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. And no, you're right. And so that's it. I think if we just sort of take inventory of ourselves and what is it that maybe there's something out there that you don't think you can do, or you're afraid to do, or you're afraid of failure, or um, speaking of language is a good one. That's the one that burns in my mind, uh, just because of the book that I refreshed on recently. And yeah, there was a guy who wanted, of all the strange things to learn, he wanted to learn Gaelic, which is just this. I mean, who speaks Gaelic other than this really small part of Ireland
Right.
anymore? And not only did he learn Gaelic, but he became an expert on it. And
Wow.
he didn't start till he was like 80.
Wow.
So yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Surprise yourself. We are capable of amazing things if we just give ourselves the chance to do it. And
Yeah.
so make it a mindset. Make it something that you think about, like what is it that's out there? How could I surprise myself? What do I want to venture out on? And it could be anything. Whatever your personal interests are, or desires, or goals, unfulfilled goals, whatever they are,
Yeah.
pick one of those and surprise yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and while you're talking about that, and especially mentioning the guy that's 80 years old, this thought's running through my head that our bodies, we are machines,
Yep.
and you know challenging yourself through learning new things like that. You got to stay active. You got to stay moving, right? So you got to keep yourself healthy. You got to keep yourself physically capable by being active, and you got to keep your mind healthy by exercising it, right? Your brain's a muscle. And if you let that thing just sit around and you're not challenging it, it's not going to progress, right? It's going to degrade over time. It's just, you think about a vehicle, right? You've got a vehicle that you just take and park out in the driveway. Watch what happens to that thing over time, and then you try to move it, see what happens. Yeah, you gotta keep working this machine that you are, both your mind and your body, and stay active both mentally and physically to increase your longevity and increase the value and the joy of the experience that you have while you're here.
There you go. It reminds me of another true story, and this one involves me and my wife. I love the garden. It's just, I don't know why I entered this phase where I just love being outside, tinkering around, doing stuff, and sort
Right.
of beautifying the little environment that I live in my backyard,
Nice.
very often. And so there was a guy that came over this week who hadn't been to our house in a long time, and there's nothing spectacular about anything other that we do, other than we just routinely tend the garden, just like you said, just like you're tending your health. We just tend the garden, and these little things you don't even really understand how much they're improving.
Right.
And then he walks in and he goes, "Oh my, this is incredible! Who did you hire to do all this?" It was just me and Paula. That was it. We're just putzing around out here on the weekends because we like doing it. And you're
Right.
moving, you're bending, you're lifting, and you're moving naturally, burning calories, then you end up having a beautiful environment. And you know what? And it was one of those moments where I go, I surprised myself. There we
Yeah.
go. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's you see it in the incremental stages while you're doing it, right? So somebody that hasn't seen it in several months, it's a huge change.
That's right.
I think that's a challenge that we all face when we're working on doing things is that we don't fully see and appreciate the incremental improvements that we're achieving, and so it's challenging sometimes. So it's interesting to think about it that way and realize that, hey, don't look at it right now. Don't focus on this. Think about it 6 months from now or a year from now.
Right.
Then stand back and look at it and evaluate where you were a year ago from where you are now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the little nuggets that I wanted to pass on today. So there you go.
All right. Well, great subject. I appreciate the suggestion and the conversation.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for engaging.
You are certainly welcome. All right. Well, I'm not going to surprise anybody by what I'm about to do now because
That's right.
And then I'm going to say something like this. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, make sure between this podcast and the next, you take time to enjoy the ride.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. Please subscribe so you'll receive notification when new episodes are available. To learn more about the Graybeards, visit their website, graybeardchronicles.com.